After months of infighting among Democrats, the House is expected to pass President Biden's massive social spending and climate change bill, all 2,100 pages of it. Democrats expected to pass the measure Thursday, but Republican leader Kevin McCarthy took to the floor criticizing the bill on a wide range of issues for more than 8 hours overnight.
You are spending more money than we spent to solve World War II, to win it. And you're proud of it. You're championing it.
Democrats say the measure will create free pre-K, increase child care assistance, cut drug costs for seniors, and slow climate change.
As we think of all of this progress, and it's pretty exciting. This is historic. It is transformative. It will help us build back better with women and all those who had not previously had the full advantage.
The Congressional Budget Office says the bill adds $367 billion to the national debt over 10 years. But that number doesn't include possible extra money by beefing up the IRS and bringing in more money from tax evaders, which could cut the deficit down to $160 billion. And the Biden administration goes further, saying it can actually cover the entire amount with more cash from those who don't pay enough in taxes. A notion Republican Senator Bill Cassidy rejects, saying this idea that we're going to pay for it by going after tax cheats based on long experience, CBO says is not true. So if we're worried about inflation, just intuitively to me, pumping more money into this economy is going to increase the risk of stagflation. Outside estimates for the total price tag for the bill could go much higher than the Democrats' projection of $1.75 trillion. As written, the bill includes a number of ways to keep costs down, like saying some new programs would expire within a few years, even though many in Washington expect Democrats to demand they be extended, and that would drive government spending much higher if those temporary programs are made permanent. The Committee for a Responsible Budget estimates the total cost would shoot up to $4.9 trillion. It's a tough vote for Democrats in swing districts up for re-election in the upcoming midterms. Leader McCarthy says Speaker Pelosi is burning down the House on her way out the door, talking about Democrats deciding not to run for re-election.
Who can blame them for announcing retirement? They see the writing on the wall, and they know this reconciliation bill will be the end of their Democrat majority, and for many of them, the end of their congressional careers.
While Democrats say the new bill will help Americans, a Fox News poll asked people how they think the measure will affect their families. Just 27% say it will help, 31% say it will hurt, and 33% say it will make no difference at all. The bill is expected to change significantly once it gets to the Senate, where centrists like Joe Manchin are already asking questions about how much it really costs and how it will affect already high inflation hitting the country. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.
Well, the problem with the bill is there's so much in it that you really can't figure it out. It's almost like there are all these promises and all these various programs, and it's all cobbled together in one massive spending bill. So what is it exactly going to do? That's why so many Americans are confused, and we seem to be divided. That is it going to help? Is it going to hurt? Or is it going to make any difference? And if you can't figure out a bill, then I think there's a good question: why in the world are we passing it? How much of ideology is driving this, where we have to do something and we have to have some sort of legislative victory to declare to the American people so that we can run on legislative victory as opposed to real accomplishments? And in that ideology, are you depending on legislation? Are you depending on the state? Or are you depending on the American people and their resilience to get us out of this pandemic? For me, I'd rather depend on the American people.